Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Skyrim Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Dovah Rider Cart mod, which is being made by user Her515. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a mobile micro player home for you to enjoy, and I love this thing because, I mean, come on, it's a freaking RV in Skyrim. Who wouldn't want that? I absolutely love the entire idea around this mod, that it is a literal cart player home that you can attach a horse to and then drive it anywhere you want in the world. And that is just such a cool concept, and the mod maker did it, I think, in a very interesting way, that rather than making this particular cart effectively a TARDIS bigger on the inside, they wanted to make it more realistic. And thus, it's, well, on the inside, it's basically as large as it is on the outside here. It is a tiny little player home, though thanks to some very creative working around of all of the different elements inside of it, has darn near anything and everything you could want in a player home. Not things like smithing and other bits like that that take up more room, but you've got storage, a bed, you even do have some crafting in the form of, well, alchemy and enchanting, which is all pretty darn cool. And again, it's freaking mobile, and that's just so wonderful. So let's take a look at exactly what all we do get here and how you do get your hands on it. And first things first, for the time being, it is free. You just gotta come out into the world, find this thing, you can grab both the cart and a free new horse, and get off on your way and go. Now, the mod maker has shown some interest on the mod page about maybe changing that in the future, perhaps some sort of quest involved with it, but for the time being, it's free. You just gotta come here and grab it. And where is here, if you haven't already realized? Well, it's just outside of the Whiterun stables along that main road, where you'll find both the cart, but also our new horse called Sun Chaser, and it is a gorgeous horse. You do gotta love it. And again, free. New horse, just come over here, ride it, and you're good to go. And then, of course, we have the Dovah Rider Cart. And the cart is just very cool on the outside. Love the detailing and just how it all looks. But it's even better on the inside. Now, again, it's a tiny little home, as you can see. Very small, very cramped, but it has, again, darn near everything you could want or need on the interior. From, like I mentioned, enchanting, all the way to even tiny little micro shrines. It's pretty darn cool. So let's show how this all does function. So let's first go over here to our new horse, Sun Chaser, and it is, again, gorgeous horse. And yeah, you can just go right on up and ride this wonderful new horse around like any normal horse. But if you want to drive the cart, well, what you're gonna have to do is actually go over to the cart and tether Sun Chaser to it. Now, to do so, we just need to head over to the Dovah Rider, and it doesn't matter where you do click, you just gotta interact with it and tether Sun Chaser. And boom, there you go. The horse is now attached, and the horse will teleport to here from wherever you left them in the world. It is quite impressive. Now, to actually start driving, we can either just go up to the horse like normal, or head back to the Dovah Rider, hit Ride Sun Chaser, and now we'll get teleported up to the horse. And would you look at that? We're now driving around our mobile home. Now, on the roads, this thing works magnificently. It's a very smooth ride. Now, if you try and turn quickly or go over more rough terrain, the physics and colliders on this player home can be a bit wonky, and I have seen this thing kind of freak out on me before, but so long as you stick to generally even terrain, and especially the roads themselves, you really shouldn't ever have a problem with it. And once you're ready to park yourself for the evening, well, you just get off the horse, and then we go to interact with the interior. Though, actually, before we do that, if you want to take the horse out, it's quite easy. You just got to go back and tether Sun Chaser again, and that will unhook the horse. But let's not bother with that right now. Let's just go straight to the interior, and it is a very tiny player home, not meant for any companions. It is you and you alone. And here we are, our lovely new house. It is just glorious, and basically everything is reachable from this standing point when you enter. Literally everything. Well, maybe not everything. No, actually, yeah, no, everything is. Wow, would you look at that. Well, let's actually start on this side and just sort of work our way around. We do have some garlic and dried elf's ears that we can harvest on both sides, as well as some dried frost miriam. We also do have some storage containers, these bags here for raw food, cooked food. We've got enchanted items here. That's the main shelf down here. We also have soul stones. We have mead storage, the all-important thing there, as well as, of course, our alchemy lab and arcane enchanter. We do also have an oven for baking, a cooking pot for cooking, and up above our heads, for some reason, harvestable salmon, rabbit, and pheasant. 'Cause, sure, alright. It works. It works. Surprisingly, nothing on the other side to harvest, but you can see here we do have 2 weapon plaques that we can attach weapons to. Very cool. Now, moving on from here, we do have a potion case right there to store stuff in. We then also have a shrine to Kinnereth and Akatosh right there. On the other side, we also have a few more little shrines to Zenithar, Julianos, and RK. And on the top here, we've got one for Talos and Bella. I'm assuming that one's... Oh, there it is. There's the interaction point. That was the first time I found it. The interaction point for Mara is apparently a little bit wonky, but there we go. Mara. Yay. So you got all the major shrines here. Now, storage-wise, we also have an ingredient storage, a valuable storage, a generic food storage, wilderness supplies, non-metals for smithing. We then have armor surplus, clothing, books over here, weapons surplus here, a crate for smithing metals, books, another food storage, and then an ammunition storage thing here, and of course, our bed to sleep in. And yeah, that's the home. It's not a lot, and it's tiny. You really don't need to move from that spot where you teleport into, but it is here and has everything within an arm's reach. Again, I love the idea of this thing for like a traveling merchant of something along those lines. It's, you know, the perfect little mobile home for you and your character. So let's head on outside and talk about a few unfortunate issues. All in all, I love this mod. It is one of the coolest mods I think I've actually seen in a while. But it does have a few issues that hopefully the mod maker can work out. First, if we do go back up to Sunchaser here and ride around, like I said, the physics on this thing can be kind of wonky. And there are instances where the collider can, well, do something like that. It will always bounce back onto its wheels, but sometimes it can actually hit you. I had it happen earlier when I was going down a particularly steep hillside, and the cart hit me in the back of the head, nearly killed me. As the colliders for this cart are dangerous, very dangerous. So long as you're, you know, getting bonked in the head or jumping on it. If you are just wandering around the exterior, you can rub yourself against this Dovah Rider all day. Nothing is going to happen to you. But the moment you try and jump on top of this thing, which, I mean, come on, who's gonna realistically do that? You can get hurt very badly, even killed. I have been killed by it a couple of times when testing. So if I actually do jump on this thing real quick, there you go. Oh, I almost died. My spine is injured. Cool, cool. Yes, so hopefully that's something that the mod maker can iron out moving forward, because, oh boy, that's deadly. I have no potions. I've got some food. Let's eat some chicken soup. There we go. Yes, so it's just the top bits. The sides are fine. Again, you can rub against this thing all day. You'll never have an issue. It's just the top. Now, also, there are some interesting issues where this cart can be launched into the stratosphere. One is if you are riding Sunchaser along, and with this attached to the cart, if you fast travel, the cart will get launched into space. Just, again, because the physics and the colliders on this thing, it will get launched. But that's not the only time that can happen. If we do actually disconnect a Sunchaser here by, once again, untethering, we can grab the horse, and we're perfectly fine now to move around without the cart. But if let's see if I can reproduce this. I had this happen to me earlier. If I face Sunchaser towards the cart, Sun Chaser is going to have to be spun around to face the correct way, and that too can sometimes trigger this thing to launch into space. There it goes. That will happen. That will happen. Yeah, if you're gonna hook Sun Chaser back up, you want to line Sun Chaser up facing the correct way. Because I think it's because the horse has to be flipped around, and that flipping is causing the physics just to go haywire. So yes, just keep that in mind. Another thing that's a minor issue, but it will happen, is if you leave Sun Chaser attached to the cart and then, like, go off on your own wandering in the world, once you get far enough away, Sun Chaser will become detached from the cart. Now, that's nothing the mod maker can do. That's just something with how the game, like, loads and unloads chunks of the world. It's just something that will happen, but something to keep in mind. Now, as for compatibilities, this is fully compatible with convenient horses. Technically, it's compatible with immersive horses, but it will cause some mesh issues with Sun Chaser. But beyond that, you really shouldn't have any issues with anything else. The big issues are the colliders on the cart. But so long as you don't fast travel while driving the cart, and you make sure Sun Chaser is aligned properly with the cart, and you don't jump on top of the cart, oh god, that's a fair few, you should be good, and you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever with this thing. And honestly, I have loved every moment of it. Even despite a couple of the issues that do exist, it's still such an interesting mod. Having that cart that you can have as a mobile home around the world is just such a fun idea, and I can't wait to use it more in my own personal playthroughs of the game. It's just cool. So if you'd like to take a look at this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today, especially now that I've launched my cart into space. So hopefully you have enjoyed, and you come back for whatever is next. But until that time, thank you for watching as always. Have a good one.